why self-esteem isn't real and how it affects you all the same. Hi, Will Perry here. This one makes me smile. Welcome to another Keeping the Conversation Alive. I get rid of that. How come it's not real? So I call myself, well, it doesn't matter what I call myself, but a self-esteem coach or self-esteem solution, self-esteem. That's the focus. So how come it's not real? So some people don't like the term. I've come across that before. I've said that before. Excuse me. I remember watching Tony Robbins saying, I don't like the term self-esteem, as he does. And it's like, well, fair play, Tony. And I've talked about how I observed people going through the circuit. So when Tony Robbins came, I had a group of NLPers that I'd trained with, and they would often go and be a part of his assisting team. Great excitement. Also, I'd seen people go on as participants on these big arena events, do the far walk, do everything, life change, but still seeing them do the same pattern 6 months later. So this high of motivation, but then, and I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I've seen it not work for lots of people. And that got me, and I was still stuck, and that got me, not that I'd done Tony Robbins, but lots of other things in between. And that got me really curious as to why, what's underneath that? What's stopping that working? What's getting in the way? And I came to this conclusion of self-esteem. So it's really interesting for me that when I come across people talking about self-esteem, well, actually, I don't come across many people talking about self-esteem. I sometimes come across people sort of dismissing it, talking about. And Jordan Peterson is one. If you don't know him, go and search. He's awesome. Very interesting, very entertaining. Not entertaining. He's not an entertainer. Just fascinating and interesting, captivating. One of probably the world's best known psychologists. I saw him recently on a video on YouTube. He's got tons of videos on YouTube, which is makes him very accessible, makes all this stuff very accessible, which is awesome. And where he said it's not real, and he does the personality profile on the big five. If you know them, I've talked about them before. And for me, that was really interesting because it was an update on what is the reliable psychometric profiling test, the personality profiling. And for me, when I was in the corporate world, it was MBTI, and how he said that's outdated. It is, and he has a version of this, the Big Five, and it's fascinating. And I've gone through his course to go through that, to really understand it, and it's awesome. And it's really interesting. So I was very interested when he said the words self-esteem isn't real. I almost went into Tony Robbins there. Self-esteem isn't real. And it's like, oh gosh, I was a bit like, oh no, I'm not real. I'm a fraud. What is it then? So he cited in that, he's done so much work on the Big Five that make it robust. Absolutely robust across cultures, across this whole personality profiling, this whole personality tool, the Big Five, the types. And to make it absolutely reliable, which is what you want out of a test, isn't it? And he says, at the moment, the IQ test is absolutely, solid and reliable, and you want to make your profile, your personality profiling, as reliable, and MBTI just wasn't. And anyway, so it the tools and techniques and measures that we have these days are kind of much better and more reliable than the ones we had in the 30s. Which is when MBTI started to work. Anyway, in that, he said, the most reliable thing we've got for self-esteem testing is the Rosenberg test, and that's 10 questions. And it's not solid. It's not linked to the either the IQ or the Big Five. It's not. It's not. It can't be reliable enough. And it's not real. So, self-esteem isn't real. Yet his own personality profile cites self-esteem, so it's quite conflicted. So what it is it's real or not. It's still something that messes us up, and that was the question that I found really interesting, because I felt messed up. I could see evidence of my life still getting messed up. And it was like, what is it that's messing me up, that's making me self-sabotage, that's making me get stuck, when I get really motivated to do something and then it all crumbles. What is that thing? That gets me stuck, and it's like, so whether we give it a name or not, it's that thing that gets us stuck. And if we give it a name, we can help. It helps us relate to and deal with the real problem. The real problem that's causing the self-sabotage, that's stopping us when we're motivated towards something. And we need to identify in that what's causing this negative emotion. The negative emotion that holds us back, that makes us worry, second guess, causes the anxiety, the all the negative thoughts, the negative feelings that creates, that then stop us, the self-sabotage in that. And that's what we need to tackle. And that's what's commonly understood as self-esteem, low self-esteem. So that's the fight. Whether you can sort of reliably say, let's test your self-esteem, which there isn't a reliable test, but for me, I use the Rosenberg test, and it's a nice indicator of that propensity towards sensitivity of negative thinking, a heightened sensitivity of negative thinking about yourself, not about the world. You can be the most optimistic, positive person in the world, but when it's about you, or you putting things in action for you, your diet, your exercise, your being consistent for you, putting you first, all that stuff, it starts to crumble. That's the self-sabotage. When you're trying to push forward in your own business, and you can do things for other people all day long, but when it's for you, making time, so making time for you, all this negative emotion that you have about yourself that undermines your actions and activity, that's that thing. And it's commonly understood as self-worth, self-esteem. So be it real or not, because it isn't something that we can measure, and it gets in the way. So we can report on a personality profile and have that the negative aspect, the negative worry aspect, neurosis. We can be high on the neurosis, or not that high. It can be dissipated in different areas that we can see it on the big five, or the big five, sorry, on that side. So it's an interesting thing, and it really doesn't show. This is where maybe Gabor Mate, if you've followed him, comes along more, about sort of saying it's actually the trauma that we had in childhood, that's the thing that impacts this, and the personality is a facade that we're hiding behind, hiding the pain behind our own trauma, and that's what we need to solve, and that's what I'm about solving. That's what causes the low self-esteem, this negativity, this I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, and that's the thing that shoots us in the foot, that causes the self-sabotage. So that's the thing that we need to fix. How am I doing the time? Oh, 8 minutes, that's cool. So my invitation to you is identify your negative emotion about yourself. Identify it. What is it about you? What is it that you do to yourself, you say to yourself? What would you, if I could have this amazing tool, and if I plugged it into your subconscious, and I went just there. Oh, yes. What would I be hearing? Let me know. Let me know. What would I be hearing? And if you don't let me know, if you don't engage with replying to this, then cool. But you know what it is. I'm useless, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm ugly, I'm stupid. What is it that you do? All right, identify your negative emotion. All right, because that's the thing that you need to change and fix. Otherwise, it's just gonna, got one foot going like that. Got one foot nailed to the floor, you'll be going around in circles, or bigger patterns. Even if it feels like you're making progress, you're still going to go in that pattern, and it's a killer. It could be a killer, but it's really frustrating. It's so frustrating, and it zaps your life and your energy and your positivity about yourself, and that impacts on other people. And actually, what you're doing then, if you have kids, it passes it on to the kids, and that's the last thing you want to pass on to your kids, right? If you have kids. So let me know, what is your negative emotion? If I plugged my special tool into you, what would it? Oh my God, that sounded wrong. Forgive me. If I plug this into your subconscious, what would I hear? let me know. If not, identify for yourself what that is, because that's what needs to change. If it's healthy and positive, awesome. You're not sabotaging yourself. If you are sabotaging yourself, if you're getting stuck, that's what you need to sort out. All right, many thanks. Hope you're well. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.